Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff with co-host. I don't even know who this guy is. It might be Chip. Check out that new do. Man, looking good. Looking good. Man, look at that. So welcome everybody. Welcome On the Chain community. Welcome crypto community. XRP adoption explodes. RLUSD $650 million. Trump tariffs ruling rocks DC. A lot of stuff going on over there. What is going to happen at the court level? That's going to be interesting. Obviously, there's some fight back. Crypto RLUSD surging past the $650 million market cap. Pretty big news over there. Some big things rolling out in Japan, unlocking some new liquidity. And there's something called Gummy. We got to look into what that is. What's Gummy all about? And Flare, what's going on with Flare? Because there's some big news, some big moves happening within the geopolitics realm. Trump tariffs facing a federal court smackdown. So we got to get into that. We got to deep dive and dig up some dirt on that. Plus, as always, funny clips, memes, and your daily dose of unapologetic truth. No FOMO, no rigged rules, just unfiltered takes with crypto politics and badass coffee energy. You know it.
And Yetis, let's go.
And Yeti.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Welcome everybody to On the Chain. Chip here. I feel like I'm wearing a costume, Jeff. Like it's this new do here. It's like I'm getting used to it. It's the whole thing, man. Look at
it's crazy. Look at that, man. That looks so good.
Fade on the side, man.
Looking good.
Super still long on top. You know,
no more long hair, hippie freak.
No more hippie freak stuff here, man. No, no more, man. No, it's all good. Hello from the UK. We got some good UK users today too.
XRP plumbing. Oh hell no, Chip! You're drinking Dunkin' Donuts.
I love
coffee?
Dunkin', dude. Don't even mess with my Dunkin'. Don't even mess with it. Don't mess with Dunkin'. First of all, not at my house. I'd be drinking badass Yetis, but I didn't pack any, so this is what I'm drinking. That's just close to where I'm staying.
That's it. Nice.
So there you go. Yeah.
There you go.
It's not as good as Obsidian. Not even close. Not even close. Not even close. Nice dude. Look, fella. They call it an upgrade. Don't need what they call that. It's an upgrade. Yeah. Upgrade 2.0, man. So yeah, I mean, oh my gosh, it was what a big change. You know, I had to document the whole experience, and it was good. I liked to know who I was. She was like, "Who is that dude?" Yeah, from that.
Look at that! Oh my god.
So that back with the living, Jeff.
Position. I can't believe.
My wife's super happy about it.
Oh yeah,
super happy about it. Right? She's saying yeah. So that's the official word. Yeah, it's all good, man.
I am. What's up, Crypto Nation?
How we doing? We doing all right? You doing all right? All right?
All right.
Look like Rick Astley. Yeah. No, I'm gonna start singing, dude. Ain't gonna happen. Rick Astley will roll you, man. That'd be great. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Go Rick Astley. Sorry, just joking. We pulled the mask off and it's back to normal again.
Back to normal, Chip.
Back to normal. Well, after 3+ years of growing it, Jeff, I was like, oh my god,
it's crazy.
Yeah, 3+ years. 3+ years, man. Rick Astley. Never gonna give you
the Rick roll.
The Rick roll, baby. Rick roll.
Chip and Dale's called.
Rick roll, dude. Yeah, we got all kinds of stuff coming up. So let's kick it off with our pal Jack McDonald. He seems very stoic, though. I like to get that guy out for a couple of drinks. So if I run into Jack over at Swell up in New York, I'm going to say, hey, Jack, you're lighten up a little bit, man. You're always way too serious.
No.
I see him crack a smile. He's always like on camera. He's always like, oh, Jack McDonald for Ripple. Jack McDonald up from Ripple, CEO of Standard Custody, you know. He's not jovial like the rest of the Ripplers. I think he's just serious on camera. I bet he's a really funny dude to hang out with, though. But I will go up and see him and take a photo with him. We'll see what happens. But
over a couple scotches.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So here he is here. I thought you were teasing this in the beginning, the RLUSD monthly independent attestation. That's a fun word, Jeff. Attestation now live. Some highlights. Across the 650 million in market cap. Explanation point right there. Minted on XRPL was part of the very first IPO proceeds payment in stablecoins from Bullish. Remember, Bullish wanted to be paid in stablecoin
That's
when
right.
it raised. So that was pretty cool. It was one of the stablecoins that was part of that deal. And then Aave, the Horizon platform, is going to allow users to post U.S. treasuries. What else we got here?
All sorts of stuff.
And institutional funds, collateral to borrow stable coins, including the RLUSD, unlocking new liquidity. It's all about liquidity, Jeff.
Yes.
Let's see how much liquidity there is.
All about need liquidity.
XRP and some of these. Let's see what happens when Bitcoin hits 200,000. Let's see if the liquidity is there. Let's see if it's not going to. This bull run's not going to create some panic. Also, Ripple USD is coming to Japan next year through a Ripple and SBI official partnership. And Q3 shows no signs of slowing down. You can check out the previous reports here.
Stuff's still going.
But another one of my favorite people on X, Dr. Artur Krjalovic, he said, sadly, only 12.5% of the Ripple USD supply is on the XRPL. That's because most of it is sitting over there on Ethereum, and that's where the people are. So that's where you don't want to siloed stable coins, Jeff.
No. Well, that's, it's interesting, right? For a stablecoin perspective, definitely can't have it siloed. We already have too much silos going on. Even if you kind of look, at the NFT markets, one compared to another, if you look at the NFT market on the XRPL, it's very small in comparison to what's going on over over at Ethereum. But yet people keep dropping stuff over here on the NFT, marketplace there at XRP.cafe, which is where the badass Yetis are. But the people are over at Ethereum. They're out at OpenSea, just like, Ethereum is just such a big player in the space, regardless of what anybody says and any opinion, they might have to deep dive on some of the history of Ethereum. But the people are with Ethereum, like you just said. The people are with the Bitcoin. There's more surge coming to the XRPL. It just isn't there yet, but there's a solid foundation to build on, and that's the key.
No, of course. James Rule checking in. The big old love there.
What is going
James
on?
Rule.
I heard James Rule got a new pickup truck.
Yeah.
Long ago.
Yeah, he got a pickup truck. Yeah. He just posts a lot of stuff, what's going on in his life and his world. Yeah. Thomas Brennan says, I can't believe you only have 25,000. Well, we had 26, but we had almost 27, but it's been slowly eroding for the last 3 years because of the shadow ban of YouTube.
It's really weird. Yeah, our growth, we grow, and then YouTube says no.
You're
right. Out in the universe, we have some of the best subscribers and followers, I think, out of any channel. I've never seen such intelligent commentary. That's the show behind our show. We read the commentary. We get some of the top people in the space that come through here. And so as we put this out into the universe, the channel is definitely growing with the right people, I think, is what the key is. Not a lot of fluff, not a lot of FOMO, fanboys out there.
Look, we were cruising.
Substance.
We're going back to the first 2 years of the podcast. We got to 26,000 very quickly. Then we started doing geopolitical stuff.
Yeah, and I think it's going to happen. We're going to grow again. Then it kind of went sideways for a while, but I think we're going to grow. Again, we've got some consistent measures, and now we can look at all the great people we have here and all the new people that are popping in. I think is
check that out right there.
Which is really cool.
James and I were talking one day, and I was talking about the coffee, and he said, "Dude, I'm going to try some of that coffee," and he did. He didn't just talk about it. He went out and bought 2 bags of coffee, and he likes this dark roast. Is that your favorite, James? You say the dark roast is good, and tell people what the difference is about fresh roasted beans. When you get those beans, you can just put them in your mouth and taste the difference. You don't crack a tooth, but the other ones, been set on a shelf. They're so dry. It's like the Sahara Desert. It's like they crumble in your. They're like sometimes you can't even break them. They're so crispy and it's ridiculous. Yep, that's what he says. Yep. Told you so. Told you so. That's James's catchphrase. Everyone tries to use it now but James is the one that originated it.
Steve is saying that we have issues with
That's-
YouTube because we traffic Yetis.
That's true. That we do resemble that comment. That is an absolute
Yowies.
truth right there for sure, without a doubt.
Yetis and Yowies.
Zorber says I'm the only I'm one of the smartest dumbasses I know. That's true. We all are when it comes down right down to it. Boom, right there, a little disco step, champagne, baby. Wait, Chip, you're in New York and you're drinking Dunkin' Donuts coffee when you have so many varieties. I didn't say I was in New York. I said when I'm in New York at swell. I didn't say I was in New York. See,
Right.
you have to listen, my man. I know you're in. I know you're in Florida, but you have to listen.
See?
Sledfast is in the house.
Sledfast.
Where's Sledfast coming in from today?
From Lubkey.
Sledfast 597 Lubkey. Where's Lubkey? Is that in the UK?
Sledfast.
That's okay, man. No worries. That's fine. Ask questions. We gotta get them answered.
Nobody.
If I was in New York, you're right. I would not be drinking Dunkin'. I can assure you, you are 100% right. You were right, though. If I was in New York, I would not be drinking Dunkin' for sure.
Winnipeg. That's right. He's in Canada.
Now, if I was in Massachusetts, we don't have really that much Canadian stuff going on. It's the same. But if I was in Mass or Rhode Island, I would have no choice but to drink. Now, if I was in Canada, I'd be drinking Timmy's. I'd be drinking some Timmy's.
Not Tom Hortons.
Tim Hortons. I'd be drinking some. We call it Timmy's up there, but Timmy's. I'd be drinking some Timmy's. Yeah,
man, you gotta love Tim Hortons.
I love it, man.
Tim Hortons, they got some of the better baked goods. Just
yeah, when I was in
overall,
Montreal, it was always there's a Timmy's on every corner, so I'd just go there and grab some. So that's good, man. He said
and
it's
I was
all good here.
Amazing. All good in Winnipeg.
It's all good in Winnipeg. I love Winnipeg, baby. Okay, here we go. So Wrath of Khan. He's always he puts out some stuff that I don't usually see. The two people that put out the most stuff that are very interesting is obviously Crypto Eddie. She's phenomenal at finding stuff, but also Wrath of Khan. I don't know where he digs this stuff up. I never hear about it anywhere else. It's like, so I'll look at what he's up to. He said Sparkvia in Malta launched an AI-powered writing suite that just happens to use the XRPL. What it does is it creates copy with a pay-as-you-go sort of credit system powered by XRP. So by building directly on the XRPL, Sparkvia AI provides frictionless payments, auditable billing, and it eliminates hidden fees. This is, I mean, we haven't heard of this anywhere else. This
Never
is so
heard
cool.
of it. How did he find it? I'm looking it up right now. Sparkvia
AI
to launch Spark token on the XRP ledger.
Yeah, located up there on Malta there. So maybe if you got the screen up there, maybe you can throw it up there, Jeff. But I
can't find it.
Can't find it? Sparkvia.
Sparkvia
AI writing tools. Let's see, does he put in there? Sign up now, you get 100 free credits. Oh, here it is right here. Let's see. Well, this is the press release on it.
Well, I'm finding press releases, but I'm not finding a actual website. There's Sparkvia.ai.
There it is.
I've been searching, nothing comes
up. Sparkvia.ai. Well, what do you know? There's so many new extensions these days, the top-level domains. Content on autopilot with Sparkvia AI writing tools, create blogs, ad copy, email, social media posts, images. In seconds, register, get free 100 Spark credits right there. So you can start writing.
How would you choose them over ChatGPT? No need for prompts. You get the best possible output.
Yeah, it says use our models to generate content from history, tech science, politics, lots more by getting started today. Prompt our copywriting tools. So you can buy a writer's block, create AI in seconds. It's probably mostly for creating, it's probably tailored a little bit more for like long form articles, blog type posts.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
So, sales type emails. If I ever sent a sales email like that, dude, holy cow. It would be deleted instantly.
If what?
It says like sales emails, and the sale email was like this long. I would be like, no, it's like, hello. Got to grab the first second, and then that's what it says. I was like, well, it's lorem ipsum. It's Greek, and so it's not really, but it just talks. But again, they're models. If you look at what they're trying to achieve here, it's mostly writing based stuff. So it's a little bit more drilled in and
SEO optimized and things like that.
Yeah, it's custom. It's So Sparkvia, you don't need a lot of prompts. You just get the best possible output from the AI. So, people aren't good at crafting prompts. That might be part of it. Web3 blockchain integration, dedicated tools for blogs, ads, emails. I'm going to give this a try for sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to register.
High quality structured output, receive every time. That's the other thing. When you go to ChatGPT, what you get back, you got to do tons of iterations, tons of like needling and writing and It sounds to me like, again, what they're doing on the back end too, and customizing it for a very specific use case. If you're going to do SEO copy, if you're going to do a sales type email, they have a lot going on in the background that eliminates you having that ability to do the actual prompt. Where in ChatGPT you need prompts. There's a low quality of output if you don't give it the right prompt. Hello, we just talked about that. No blockchain integration, no specific ad creation tools, generate responses based on user prompts, and it only generates content using user-provided structure. So they're customizing a lot of stuff in the back end and taking that friction out of the way, which I really like.
So you do need a prompt field. Fill the prompt field to generate content.
No, it is, but you don't have to do in ChatGPT. If you don't put a monster prompt in there, you're probably not going to get anything. See right here, users model like Ada, BAB, Pastor for structured copywriting. Again, you're going to get a better output. Not to say you couldn't do it with ChatGPT. It's just that this is very customized. So, so there you go.
Great, yeah.
If you see like right there, it's like fill the prompt. Where's your brand name? What do you provide? Number of words for each service. So really customized stuff. Business owners, e-commerce stores, marketing teams. So there you go.
Writing style, language. Yeah, this is pretty interesting.
New users receive 100 free Spark credits upon sign up. Once your free credits are exhausted, you can purchase additional with XRP. After Spark tokens launch on XRP Ledger, all credit purchases will be made using Spark tokens. So it's only going to use XRP for a short time. Then you'll have to probably buy, do a convert on the DEX and then end up with the Spark tokens.
Pain point.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is really cool.
It's cool to see other stuff being, built there. But again, something very specific and customized, So very, very cool. It's good to see this kind of stuff, people thinking, and shout out to Wrath of Common, of course, for doing that. You also teased this one, Jeff. Gumi. I don't know if it's Gumi.
Gumi
rhymes with Goonies. Gummy.
Those look like Japanese yens.
Yeah, so they're going to spend $2.5 billion, which is $17 million US. It sounds like great. Like, dude, I'll give you $2.5 billion. Okay, that sounds awesome. It's only $17 million US. In XRP, along with its Bitcoin holdings between September 25th and February 26th over that couple-month period. And Moonchaser says, strong signal of confidence in the XRPL system. They even mentioned the SBI effect. Obviously, SBI, an investor in Ripple, the decentralized company, not to be confused with the decentralized asset called XRP or the XRPL. So I thought that was actually pretty good. So she put the translation of the press release right here. So there it is.
Interesting.
Auto translated by Grok.
Wow.
So there you go.
There you go. That was a pretty long thing. And then the translation is like one sentence.
How do you like that, Jeff? Wow, the world. That's the
wow, the world. Gummy.
What that means? Gummy.
I
think a gummy bear is the first thing I think of when I see gummy. Gummy.
Means in Japanese.
Some gummies. And then, of course, Wrath came in behind it, too. He said the Gummy is a Japanese mobile gaming company that's diversified in the blockchain. Well, everyone's converting their treasuries. Michael Saylor is the godfather of that whole movement of putting your treasury. He's taken it to the point of where at some point it will just be that his company will just become a holding company, or it won't even do anything. It'll just be one giant treasury. So it's kind of gone to that. So that's what he commented on it as well. So I thought that was pretty cool.
So the word gummy is pretty interesting. The traditional Japanese usage of gummy refers to a cohesive unit of people working together.
I like that.
But then you have here within the Yakuza, the term is commonly found in the names of the Yakuza, the Japanese mafia organizations, such as the Yamaguchi Gummy, where gummy signifies their structure as a criminal group. It can also refer to a labor unit or construction team, as seen in the origins of the Yamaguchi Gummy. And then it kind of gets into kind of the indicator of all of that.
It's kind of like when I think of NFL football, like the Bills Mafia, right? Mafia can be a bad thing, but it could also be a group of people, fan base. Right. So it kind of feels like it has a similar type of a meeting where it could mean criminal activity, but it could also mean, people, a group of people working together. Yeah.
Right.
So
that's kind of like the PayPal Mafia.
Yeah. PayPal Mafia. There you go.
But essentially it means group, Gummy means group, crew, or organization. So there you go.
Meditation says Sailor buying Bitcoin basically proves that his company is useless without it. Well, he did change his name. He wanted to change it to Bitcoin all the time, but they didn't allow that. The board said no to that. We're not. What is his new? What's the new name of the company? What was it? What did he do? He dropped the. It's just strategy now. It used to be
strategy. It went
MicroStrategy.
from MicroStrategy, which was very computer-esque.
And it's confusing though. When you say MicroStrategy, but you just say strategy, it's just a common word. You almost go like, say. You said MicroStrategy, and you know it's a company. But if you say strategy, you're like, oh, that's strategy. You know, the company, Michael Saylor's company. That's why I think most people still refer to it as MicroStrategy. So
it's now Strategy Inc. It actually changed its name August 11th of this year.
XRP Plumbing says, I don't know, fellas. I feel like Michael Saylor's company is going to turn into FTX sooner or later. I don't know. I mean, if it took a massive dive, it would crush the company. But they already said, he's already admitted they would have to do a mass sell-off.
Yeah.
You know, they're not gonna take the company down. But and the dollar cost average, they bought in at different price points. So if you take all that but I think Bitcoin. Yeah, I heard John Deaton the other day say he was thinking in one of his posts saying he's going to go to 200,000. And, if you said 200,000 maybe 2 years ago, people would be like, come on, man, there's just no way. There's no way. You ever see that guy on X? And he always like, no way. And then he like finds something, does someone figure out how to do it? And he does it. He's like, no way. I love that guy. Because it's always something you're like, oh, that's the easy way to do this.
So here you go. Here's strategy, right? We go back in history here, 5 years. Let's go back to September of 2020. Shares sitting at $14.
About that.
Now it's 334. If we go to the base here, February of 2024, sitting at $50. So a year ago, we're sitting at $50. Now we've hit, a nice high over the past 5 years, a 2,100% increase. That's not a bad return.
No, that's a very good return.
Week, low and high, 113 with a high of $542. So I think strategy definitely stacking up the strategy. And if the valuation is in Bitcoin, it's not too much of a departure from an ETF almost. You're basically investing in what they're investing in, and they actually still produce something, still a company being run. Question is, what happens if they do take out the base?
So there was I saw a lot of dust up about Chainlink working with the commerce to publish on the blockchain. Everyone's like, oh, they chose Chain. There's for some reason there's like a competition between Chainlink. First of all, Chainlink isn't a blockchain. Number one, it's an API. So people trying to compare Chainlink to XRP, look, they can work in concert together. It's not necessarily one or the other. But look, what do you're like creating an imaginary fight, picking an opponent, and then going after an opponent. But so all the Chainlink people were like, you see, they chose the Chainlink to work with okay, well, whatever, But here's the thing. So that big community dude, he goes, well, I just published the commerce government U.S. gross domestic product second quarter data XRP ledger directly. Yeah, it's like it's not like anybody can't do it. That's like I just did it, in a few seconds and fractions of a penny in fees. I stored the data on the XRP ledger twice. I stored it in, the SHA-256 hash of the report like a memo as they did on Bitcoin, a similar thing to Bitcoin. But I also stored the hash and a PDF link in an NFT. So we put it up there two different ways. You use the, SHA-256 hash, put it like a memo. It's like a common thing you do like with Bitcoin. But then he also took the hash plus the PDF link. So if you're looking on the blockchain and you can actually see it, he stored it in an NFT. This is great, man.
Oh, yeah.
All native L1 features without contracts. None of them are needed. Now there it is right there. You can see there's if you go there, you can look it up. He posted it right there. There's the source. There's the destination. Cost 0.00001 XRP to do it. That's what it cost. Oh, I'm sorry, that was the delivered amount. The ledger fee was 0.000012. Fraction of a penny to do that. And then over here you have there's the PDF link, and as an NFT, he posted it as an NFT. Clever that vet is. He's like, big deal. I just did it in 3 seconds. Who cares?
Oh, that's it.
Who cares,
Nice.
Man? Nobody really cares.
Liking it.
Yeah, and then there's some other news too. Mayuka posted this right here. Congrats to Gregory, to Stipnik, and also to Dennis Angel. He works over there at XRP Labs. Amendments are being activated. The 29th, actually, they were activated yesterday, but based on the consensus for the XRP ledger and the nodes, they went ahead and did it. So they're activated on the mainnet. All Ripple nodes that are running 2.4 and above are amended blocks. So upgrade now. So if you don't, if you're not running, Mookie says, Paychan sounds cute. We need more of that. Anything with the word pay in it is good. It's a good thing.
PayPal.
PayPal.
Pay me.
Yeah. And onto some Flare news here.
Flare. Let's get some rants going on the Flare.
Flare, baby.
Flare's making some big moves.
Flare's great. We gotta get Hugo. We gotta get Hugo on this program, dude.
We got to get Hugo on. We'll reach out to Hugo. Hugo would be, a huge get. Flare probably making some of the biggest advancements in the space, utilizing cross-chain and, really mixing things up. I really like what he's doing over there. I want to see some full utility, see some adoption, but the guy's making some waves.
Yeah, I think Flare, I mean, look, man, everyone's like watching it sit, hover on 1 and 2 cents, but I'm telling you, man, when it starts blowing past 50 cents and $1 and $1.50, then you're going to hear people, oh, I heard you mention Flare at one point. And then they won't start buying in until it's $1.50, $1.80, $2. I mean, a lot of my friends bought in around $1.75 when it first hit $1.75. Not talking about the all-time high. I'm talking on the next go round. But they weren't interested in buying it when it was on sale for 17 cents. Right. For 11 cents. Remember there was some flash crashes and it went down to 11 cents and a lot of people bought the dip. Imagine buying 10 for $1 almost of XRP. It's silly. It's just silly. So Flare, two things. You got some also Hugo was on Paul Barron Network and he's talking about something very specific we'll get to as well. But Flare lands a second public company for its XRP DeFi framework combined with Firelight, because we announced Firelight recently. In this video clip, he's going to be talking about Firelight, but Flare's restaking layer, which is called Firelight, the setup lets companies convert XRP into FXRP and allocate it across decentralized lending, staking, and liquidity pools. Here it is right here. So Everything Blockchain. It's called Everything Blockchain. What a great name, Jeff. Everything Blockchain Inc.
Everything these guys have done is, even their logo is pretty solid. What do you think?
Love it. I love everything about Flare, man. I'm telling you, it's a great.
Yeah.
People have said that. You remember when he did Songbird? I said this is brilliant. This is when the level of respect went up for Hugo and the team and his co-founder and what they're doing, because a lot of times, too many times, people launch something too hastily. They launch it, they don't fully test it, they don't stress test it enough. It's hard to stress test, man. You can think of all the ways you could stress test something. The only way to do is put it out in the real world. So by releasing the Songbird token and allowing people to just try to break things. What was that song? Break Things? What was that one band from the early 2000s? It was break things or break stuff tonight or whatever it was. Flare's system aims to transform XRP into a productive asset for institutions. There it is, Jeff. Institutions. Through its F assets and Firelight restaking layer. The adoption by 2 public companies now, including Vivo Power, another big thing, international signals. Vivo Power International signals a shift on how digital assets like XRP are utilized by institutions. So this is great. This institutional stuff, but also you've got, it's not all just institution. But I want to put this Hugo video up here. This is Hugo.
Yeah. While you're pulling that up, look at this Korea blockchain. So I'm just looking at some of the places where Flare is going to be. Flare is going to be at the Korea blockchain next, September 25th of 2025. They've got an active September, October, November. They're going to be around the world. Seoul, Singapore, Buenos Aires. That'll be exciting.
What about
some moves?
Are they going to be at Swell? No, they're not going to be at Swell. It's November 2nd and there's the 3rd,
according
4th,
to this, he's
5th,
going to be everywhere but.
Weird. Okay.
Maybe they might have a presence there. I don't know.
Well, I mean, Flare is its own thing. I mean, it's just that they've reached out to the XRP community. It's really, they don't really have any tie-in other than that.
Right, exactly.
Here is Hugo and Paul Barron. Tell me if you know who Paul Barron's doppelganger is. If you guys can mention who.
Let's see.
We've played it here a few times before, but I didn't know that Paul was in Miami, Jeff, and we've never hung out with him or met him. It's really
It's crazy how many people are in Miami.
If he's, I'll run into him if he's up at because I'd like to get him on the show too. He's doing a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, he'd be good too
with him and Hugo.
But if he's up at Swell too, I'll say hi to him. But here we go. This is Hugo on with Paul Barron.
Will have great benefits, but not necessarily as much carrying as much risk. So I liked what you're saying, guys.
So we wanted to be very careful here with Firelight, with the whole concept of staking XRP. I've seen a lot of the products out there, and they're very market based. They're very much about, okay, someone puts their XRP in, and then you get some traders who are running the vault who go and effectively put positions on centralized exchanges. Whether they have negotiated with that centralized exchange to hold those assets off the balance sheet of the centralized exchange, because if you're big enough, you can do that. You can effectively be insured against a bankruptcy of that centralized exchange. That's how many of the large players in the industry reduce their risk. But I don't think the major vaults in this space, especially XRP vaults, are doing that. And I also think fundamentally it's important that people understand the risk they're taking. And I think that the vault structure needs to be very clear what this, I guess you might call it, staked XRP is being used for. I wouldn't really call the existing XRP staking sort of similar to staking, because it's a totally different risk category. What we wanted to do with Firelight was do something that was really as close to staking in the conventional sense as possible.
I'm looking at the diagram here, bringing it across from XRP into an F asset. Obviously, it goes into FXRP, into Firelight. Now we have staked XRP. What about the DEXs, lending protocols, even yield markets? Are those going to be out there?
That's the interesting thing. So those exist already on Flare. Once you put your FXRP into Firelight, you receive the staked XRP, not Firelight.
Okay.
That's absolutely critical, right?
Yep.
So then you've got your XRP in Firelight earning a return. You then have this staked XRP, which is a liquid representation of your stake. It has value, which should be almost identical to the XRP that you have put in, because the risk of staking Firelight is low. And then you can then use it on a DEX or in a lending protocol. So, let's say you wish to derive further yield from your XRP. You have staked it in Firelight, you now have staked XRP. You can now take it to a lending protocol and borrow dollars against it. You can then lend those dollars out and for a yield. So that allows you to transform your XRP from a non-yielding asset to an asset that derives yield from at least two sources. And that's kind of the concept behind why we wanted to liquid staking protocol that then lets you do more with your XRP.
That's fantastic, because I think that is, well, first of all, gives you a lot of flexibility with your XRP, and I think really starts to kind of ramp up the opportunities you have in terms of getting more yield.
I wanted to hear that last thing, but somebody cut it off.
Yeah, and then it gets cut off.
I nicked that from somewhere. But anyway, it's a long interview, so you watch the whole thing. But again, it's very cool. Some enlightening stuff there. But Jeff, it is the top halfway through the hour. You know what that means?
The bottom of the hour. You know what that means?
We know what that means. I'm pretty sure
everybody knows what that means. How many Yetis do we have in the hopper? Not many.
4, man. We only have 4 people that have typed in YETI.
4 Yetis. Everyone type in Yeti.
Well, now 5.
Everybody take a minute. Everybody take a minute and type in YETI. And
coffee. There we got 6 coming in. They're coming in.
Start typing in YETI. We need to have
YETI if you want. Now, if you want. Now, if you don't want to win a badass Yeti, if you don't want to win a badass Yeti NFT, and if you don't have a Zaman wallet, especially if you don't have a Zaman wallet, do not. There we go. We're up to 10, just like that. Sometimes you just got to remind people. But go ahead and roll this one again. This is another departure. We got another. This is another first on the chain. This style of music.
First. Yeah.
Let's see who can grab this style of music and pump it in there first. After this starts going, we'll see who gets it right. Who's going to grab the style of music here? Let's see what you guys have to say, but it's never been done before here on the chain. Let's see what you guys think of this. It's another banger coming in strong from Jeff.
Coming in hot.
Coming in hot, baby.
Top.
Roll it, baby. Roll it.
Number one in the U.S. market.
Let it rip.
There's a gold album.
Clap your hands, stomp your feet, let the rhythm ignite. We're live on the chain on a swinging night. Are you ready? Yeah. You steady? Yeah. Then win yourself a badass Yeti. click that chain. When the drop hits hot, you'll remember the name. Spirit Walker strut, the tribe's in style. Step in the ring with a swinging smile. Name's Haver, sharp like brass. When the band kicks in, you won't sit on your... Stand up! Hey! Don't sit down, badass yet it's just rolling your town. Spirit Walkers, swing real hard. Have us the ace, your battle card. And Jeff drops the beat. Viewers in the house keep it slick elite. Obsidian bolt on the Aave drip. That black rose swing, take a mighty sip. Legends don't fade when the night gets late. Claim your Yeti, don't hesitate. On the chain, the band will reign. Badass Yeti's running this game. Feeling that badassery, get in the groove. The band's on fire, let the spirit walkers move. We don't rig, we don't prompt. Ain't no YouTube famous with their weak ass. Grab your badass Yeti on the chain. Badass Yeti, born for battle, made for legend. Claim yours or be forgotten. Badass Yeti on the chain. It's on the
Damn, Jeff.
What do you think of that?
Swing,
What do
baby.
you think
swing,
of that?
Swing.
There you go.
Swing.
I think one got it. There you go. In the
No,
style
a bunch of them got it.
No,
Jamie, I think
but-
it was the first. that
Oh,
got it.
right there. Cherry poppin' daddies. In the format of. Similar to. But you got swing, yes.
Yeah, that was some good stuff. But my favorite of that era was Royal Crown Review and the Squirrel Nut Zippers. So yeah, when swing had a little bit of a revival back in the late '90s, bands like
that's
Big
right.
Big Bad Voodoo Daddy.
Oh, another one, yes.
Remember Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, Royal Crown Review, Squirrel Nut Zippers, Cherry Poppin' Daddies. To me, if I put them and ranked them, I'd put Royal Crown Review, maybe Squirrel, and then maybe Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, and then Squirrel Nippers, and then Cherry Poppin' Daddies.
Right.
I put Daddies right on the bottom.
Yes.
If you want the best, you go look at the live album for the Cherry Pop or the for the Royal Crown Review. Best live album of the '90s, man. Phenomenal. Phenom.
That's right.
Okay, so what else we got? Handy Andy. Check this out, Jeff. This looks really cool. I think a lot of people will want to have
Afterlife.
this.
There you go. That was another good one.
There you go. There you go. Here we go. Handy Andy says next week our little ledger devices will be available for purchase at xmerch.app. Compact, powerful devices notify you of on-chain activity via audio, visual, and haptic. Haptic is, when it vibrates. Supported by an open source SDK, they can be customized for account transactions, server monitoring, tracking XRP or Ripple USD price action, seamlessly fusing the internet with the things of internet of value to enhance visibility of blockchain. Any questions, drop them below. And this is what the device looks like. Now I'll show you it also. So there's your keychain. So there it is. A little bit probably bigger. It's about that big.
What's on it?
There's no audio on this, but I'll just show this to you. But you can see the screen. It has the feedback. So you can program it to give you, if you wanted to program it on price or you were monitoring something, you can program it. But there's a little screen on it. And you can have it monitored. It probably has it on a thing where you wear around your neck. But it's cool, man. It's like a portable device that, will give you...
Or I'll just do something on my phone.
That too, but this is, this has a very specific,
use case.
So there you go. There you have it.
What else are we going to do with it?
I don't know.
I think it's a cool giveaway. I don't know if people are going to run out and buy them. Well, I think it's a cool concept, but it's like a really cool giveaway. I don't think people need more items per se. Everyone's trying to invent solutions without problems. There's no problem that solves, but it's a cool item. It's just on the XRP. Likes to be a little bigger, desktop style. I don't really need it on my keychain. It's fun. That's why it'd be a really cool, if you're at a trade show, it'd be a really cool giveaway, or a prize,
Yes.
something fun like that. That'd be nice to be able to
Looks
track.
cool if you want. Colin says looks cool if you want everyone to know, but also too if you want to monitor server activity on the XRPL or transactions on the XRPL, that's where I think that's where the usability and the utility comes in, where it's not easy to go open a program and track that. Where if you want to, beep, something happened, you got an announcement that something happened, a transaction went through. Brian Setzer too, he did his orchestra thing. That's right. That's a good point.
Yes.
Hilarious, Colin. I'm a crypto trader. Hi, I'm a crypto trader. I got it around my neck. Hello.
That's right. I wear it right here. Come and get
Hello. Phil Kwok, who's also going to be, him and his brother from Easy A are also going to be over there at Swell. He was just saying, he was basically saying another part of the thesis, you must be able to borrow against a store of value coin. In other words, it must be usable as collateral for loans. Otherwise, it will need to be sold. And why is that a problem? Because the whole point of the store of value is you should never sell it. After all, it's going up, right? So it's a good point he raises. And he says, well, how does it work? So first of all, you would buy $10,000 at the store of value coin. 1 year later, it hits 1 million. Okay, so I'm feeling great. I want to go ahead and buy a house for my family. Now, normally, you'd need to sell and use the gains to buy the house, right? But if the store of value coin can't be used as collateral, then you can just get a loan against it. And then you never need to sell, and you repeat the cycle up and up and up. So you keep it. And that will happen with crypto loans. And the whole idea is using that as collateral to take loans out against. When Bitcoin hits 1 million, you're not selling $1 million. You just take a loan out for 500,000 or 600,000 or 700,000 against that coin. Now, if it does a flash crash, that's a whole different story. But then you might get liquidated. But I don't think it'll be liquidation. I think at some point you'll have to pay up. You'll have to come out of pocket for it.
Well, you're supposed to. You're supposed to be able to top it up. But remember some of the issues that have happened with similar platforms over the years because of the flash crashes. People shouldn't have been borrowing against their crypto because it's too early days. There were too many, flash crashes. There were no protectors in place. They say there were protection mechanisms, but they weren't. They're like, oh, sorry, you got closed out and we were closed for the night. So by the time we responded, you were already, out of your position. And we liquidated you. But we're like, yeah, but we're trying to get in touch with you and you weren't responding. So how is that? Just like in the early years with coin, but every crypto platform and exchange went through, issues when there was a massive bear cycle and everyone was trying to buy or sell. And all of a sudden the platforms went down, every single one of them went through that. And so it's really, a kind of a dynamic situation where we're building out kind of legacy style investment platforms using legacy financial, term and concept and product, but yet the market for crypto is still relatively immature. And it's almost, in many cases, it has a lot of resemblance to penny markets, because you have these massive, movements. I think we've gotten over a lot of that now, but we see with Bitcoin where, imagine you would have borrowed against your Bitcoin when it was at 126,000 and then it went down to, 110. Now what? Are you getting closed out of your position or are you topping up? And what's the protective mechanism for you to top up? And then where's the top up coming from? What period of time do you have to respond and react to it? So I think some of the new product and platforms that are going to allow for this, which I think is going to be critical. We should be able to, leverage and borrow against, but there has to be a protective mechanism. This is what crashed. Well, one of the things that crashed Celsius is that they had a lot of those positions out there.
Or you could set a limit. You could set something on there, just like you do when you're buying and you're trading. You could set something where it automatically rolls over money from a set account or a wallet or something like that. But you're right, they can't really. Yeah. So I was looking at this. Our Spiker Hand said, "Don't worry, friends. I can hear you sound Canadian." I don't know if you're talking about us. We're definitely not Canadian.
Right. Yeah. So, store of value.
And then we've got. I can tell you sound Canadian. No, you don't. You might not be familiar with. No, he says, and then he said the USA steals our crime ideas.
He was talking about a lot of different things, that his country was the host of a lot of the crime syndicates over the years.
The country was ahead of the USA with the state crime. We deployed our X numbers gang, 26 bosses, ministers. Yeah, that's good.
I don't know what country he's in.
I thought he was in Canada, no?
No, I don't think so.
No?
I don't think there's much criminal. I have no idea where he is. Is he in Canada?
I don't know.
Did
That was
Canada
just,
host all the crime bosses, or is it in a different country?
I
Like,
don't know.
I mean, different continent.
Not
Someplace
sure. I was
else,
seeing
yeah.
some of that stuff. Did I donate my hair to the next generation Yetis? No, I did not. I did not. I did not
South
donate it, no.
Africa. Yeah, South Africa's problematic.
South Africa. Right on. Yeah. Well, South Africa, you guys got your own problems down there.
You got a lot of issues down in South Africa.
Jeez, oh man, what
a shit
crazy
show.
thing that's turned into.
Yeah.
Hang on, Jeff. I got to go off camera for a second.
Going off camera. Alberta wants to go independent. It would be good. I want to see some of those regions of Canada going independent, or joining up with the U.S. That would be good, especially the ones that are freedom loving, really have that passion, to split away from what's going on in Canada. Canada's a little bit lopsided. I'm trying to figure out what happens in the long term with Canada when population center was around 30 million, and if you keep bringing in illegal immigration, or they keep bringing in immigration from countries that don't really care about Canada, you end up with a complete imbalance in Canada. How do they recover from a financial perspective if they're just going to keep filling population centers? Then it's no longer going to be representative of Canada. Canada is probably one of the easiest countries to flip, if you wanted to see a complete departure from what Canada was. And then you might have some regions, maybe like Winnipeg or Manitoba region. It'd be I think that could be a good thing, right? Let them depart from Canada and join up with the US. There you go.
We're second only to Dubai in fraud. Yeah, I don't know if you want. Well, it's great if you want to be. If you want to be in that.
That's what you want to be known for.
That's what you want to be known for. I mean, there's frauds everywhere, man. It's probably bigger in the larger countries. So this is the news item that broke on the whole tariff thing, which is everyone knows it's going to be overturned. But go ahead and try to slow them down. This is what the left does. The left is really out of ideas in Panicville these days.
Tonight, just moments ago, actually, a federal appeals court ruled most of President Trump's tariffs are illegal. The court is saying the president exceeded his authority in imposing those levies. There's a catch, though, in this ruling. Correspondent David Spunt has details tonight, breaking just minutes ago. Good evening, David.
Brett, good evening. The catch is that the tariffs can stay in place until October 14th. That's when the mandate from the circuit court, the federal circuit court.
Let me translate what that said. That's going to remain in place because the Supreme Court's going to rule on it, and they're going to get bounced, and they don't want to be somebody that stopped it because they would be, that's sure.
Court appeals decision actually kicks in. This was a 127-page decision that just came down within the last
127-page decision. Just wasting time at this point.
Last 30 minutes. We're reading it, but it finds that most of the president's tariffs are unconstitutional. This was published to the public docket, as I said, within the last few minutes. Now, the panel found that the tariffs on nearly every country were not authorized, Brett, by the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, and therefore are illegal. The court writing today unanimously, the statute bestows significant authority on the president to undertake a number of actions in response to a declared national emergency. But none of these actions explicitly include the power to impose tariffs, duties, or the like, or the power to tax. Now, arguments were recently held in Washington, D.C. This gives the administration the green light to
or to tax who? Citizens or other countries?
Go directly
It says doesn't explicitly, but it doesn't not say it.
U.S. Supreme Court,
doesn't
which
say it
we
or not
expect
say it.
to happen very soon. We've not yet heard from the White House, but we are expecting something.
Oh, don't worry. They chimed in. So, don't worry. Trump chimed in as well as Attorney General Pam Bondi. So here we go. Here we go. I'll show this. Pam Bondi said, President of the United States Trump found there was a national emergency, took action under the law by imposing tariffs. The judges on the federal circuit are interfering with the president's vital and constitutional essential role in foreign policy. Decisions wrong, undermines the U.S. on the world stage. Justice Department will appeal the decision and continue to fight to restore the president's lawful authority. Trump chimed in and said all tariffs are still in effect. Today, a highly partisan appeals court incorrectly said that our tariffs should be removed. But they know the United States of America will win in the end. If these tariffs ever went away, it would be a total disaster for the country. It would make us financially weak, and we have to be strong. The U.S. is no longer will tolerate enormous trade deficits and unfair tariffs and non-tariff trade barriers imposed by other countries, friend or foe. That undermines the manufacturers, farmers, and everyone else. And if it allowed to stand, the decision would literally destroy the United States of America. Stardust Labor Day weekend, we should all remember the tariffs are the best tool to help our workers and support companies that produce great made-in-America products for many years. Tariffs were allowed to be used against us by our uncaring and unwise politicians. Now, with the help of the U.S. Supreme Court, we will use them to benefit our nation and make America rich, strong, and powerful again. Thank you for your attention to this matter. What are your thoughts on that, Joe?
I like it.
I love it.
Thank you for your attention.
I always says, thank you for your attention on this matter. This is the new Trump 2.0 terminology. And then he posted this up on Truth as well. That's where it came from, but I also posted the other one. Mark Levin, who's fantastic, wrote, the appellate court majority tariff decision is wrong. Appellate court decision that ruled against most of the president's tariffs have it wrong. Whether you like tariffs or not, the act at issue does, in fact, grant the president broad powers to declare an emergency. Even more, the Constitution, under Article 2, grants the president broad powers to make foreign policy. The president's lawyers are obviously aware of this, which is why the executive orders at issue rely in part on serious foreign policy considerations, including, as an example, Mexico, Canada, and China, which the president has determined are not doing enough to prevent the flow of deadly drugs into our country. Combination of broad authority in Article 2 powers trump the issues raised by the court's majority. Moreover, judges should not be the final decision makers about such matters, as they are exercising authority that was never delegated to them, and they should not substitute their own policy preferences for the president's. The check here is Congress. That is, it wishes to amend the law or pass new law curbing the president's power here. That said, Congress does have boundless power, and it could run into separation of powers issues given Article 2 and the president's foreign policy authority. The Supreme Court will once again rule on this. In the past, Justices Thomas, Gorsuch, and Kavanaugh have noted the broad authority of the president in circumstances similar to this. I expect Justice Alito would concur. In other words, the Supreme Court will overturn this highly partisan. The good news, what I'm really liking about this, is after the midterms, when the left gets crushed, what I like is the fact that these guys are like waving their hands like, hey, I'm a partisan a-hole over here. What I want you to do is take me out. And what Congress can do is go ahead and pass stuff and impeach every one of these judges and get them out of there. Gone. They're all going to get pulled after the midterms. But I like that they're telling us who they are. It's not a mystery. We're not wondering. We're not wondering who they are, Jeff. We know exactly who they are. And I love this. I love the sound of that. JD Vance. This is funny. Look at this. This is JD Vance. JD Vance was his motorcade was going by, and the protesters were all excited. They were waiting out there on the side of the road with their signs, and then he pulled a maneuver. He drove around them to the other side of the road, one behind it. This is funny watching the protesters trying to run to go catch the motorcade. Look at this. You see them coming down over here in the top here, and then they turn. They're running over there with their flag.
Oh my gosh.
They're all running over there with their protest. The funniest thing I've seen in a long time.
Oh, that is great. By the time they get there,
he's already gone. They were all excited that that's where he come in. They diverted. Look at that. They're all mad. They didn't get the shout. Look at this one.
There we go.
All 20 people. Ooh, look at us. Freedom is freedom, not fascism.
Surprised those two made it up the hill.
Do you think they even understand? Do you think they even know what fascism is? My God, Jeff, this is a little bit uncanny.
Union Jack flying from every lamppost. We have George Cross getting.
Oh, I know, I love it, man.
Every roundabout. That's great.
I don't know if you saw the video we played the other day. If you want the local council to remove anything, like your garbage, your refuge, whatever, you just go ahead and paint the St. George flag on it. They come and pick it up in 3 seconds. Anything you want to dump.
Yeah.
That is very true. That is very true.
Spiker is saying, I don't know what they're kind of talking about here. It was that climate is not BS, but hijacked for renewable fraud, which, yeah, climate's always changing. We just don't have control over it. But plastic in the sea will definitely kill you faster than CO2. CO2 is coming from the ground up, and it's, coming from the earth. But yet plastic in the sea is definitely an issue. And microplastics in our water, is definitely problematic.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you think?
You got some stuff coming up on our YouTube. But this guy's talking about the faked outrage that happens on the left.
No Ukrainian flags in England. Get rid of the.
Well, also I saw another report too that I think there's something like 14 schools where the British children, like British-born children, white kids, are 2%. They're virtually like minorities. Imagine 98%. And look, man, I mean, every other culture has a way to preserve itself. You're not going to be busting into Japan or China anytime soon and taking over the population. It ain't happening.
They're trying. They're trying in Japan.
Well, they are trying in Japan. They absolutely are trying. But they're not gonna put up with that garbage.
No.
Look at this guy talking about the outrage. This is the outrage on the left, Jeff.
A bunch of nobodies. Back when Trump got elected, a bunch of nobodies swore they were going to become celibate and move out of the country. What happened to that?
Wait.
Speaking of, what happened to burning Teslas and protesting ICE? What happened to Iran, Ukraine, no King's Day and pray for LA? What about the salaries of the WNBA teams and the Nazi genes? You were all outraged by these things, until the algorithm changed. It would seem as soon as they cycled out of the news, they cycled out of your mind. Because in reality, you don't care any more about this so-called social justice than you do 100 men fighting a gorilla or undesirable bitches picking bears. You only pretend to stand for causes because they're trending topics. All this performative activism has become a hobby to help losers forget that they're losers. Like fantasy football. But shouting Black Lives Matter won't change the fact that your life doesn't. If you truly wanted to make a difference, you would focus on becoming the best version of yourself. But I get it. That requires hard work. And there's no hashtags for that.
Is that guy real or is he AI?
Fantastic. Fully
real?
Jeff.
Is that guy real or is he AI?
I think he's real. I don't know. It doesn't matter if he is real or not. The message is so on point right there.
Yeah, 100% on point. And it's, that's the problem with the left, right? They have no real mental acuity, and so they're so easily swayed. The libertarians probably even more so. Like libertarians, I think, have less brain power than the Democrats. There's just something missing.
Democrats.
They're Democrats, but they think they're not, which is even worse. Like they're like, no, we're libertarian. We're better, and you're actually worse. They just don't get it. I don't know where they can't connect the dots in this libertarian mindset. They're so distraught and kind of dangerous in how they think, which is, it's really bizarre. At least a Democrat comes out and acknowledges, but then, it's like, mental acrobatics, when they have to actually think through things.
Don't think through things. That's the whole point. Jeff, the year 1913, what comes up for you when I say the word, the year 1913? What comes up for you?
What comes up for me?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What do you think about when I mention the year 1913? Anything come to mind?
1913.
Yeah. Federal Reserve. IRS.
Yeah. I don't know. I was trying to think of the Fed. Oh, ICE one. Fed. I was trying to think. I get caught up in war when I think about things more in terms of wars. Like when was the kind of the beginning phases of World War One? What was
this guy does a whole rant on 1913. It's a good one too. There's a lot more stuff going on around that year than you probably realize.
Just know that 1913 was the year we actually lost control of our country, right? Oh, and just for historical context, World War I started in 1914. I mean, look, I'm sure that was a coincidence, but let me just tell you all the things that were created in 1913. First, the Federal Reserve, which is neither federal nor has any reserves. It's basically a private bank that just controls all of our money. Second thing created in 1913 was the IRS. And I'm sure it's just a coincidence that it was created the exact same year that a private bank took over all of our money. Yeah, I'm sure it's a coincidence that that was the year.
Well, what about the fact that we used tariffs to fund the government before the Federal Reserve was founded, and then the tariffs went away? But don't forget, The IRS was only going to tax the rich people because they could afford it, Jeff. Was only going to be for the rich. And the little people, they didn't have to worry about paying taxes.
They started taxing you. Like, you work, they print, and then you pay them back with interest. Yeah, that makes sense. The next thing created was the Rockefeller Foundation. Yeah, and let's be real, that was all about philanthropy. It's not like they took control of medicine, education, science, and basically the health of the world. I mean, let's be real, all they were doing was donating money. Yeah, it's not like they were buying control of everything. Oh, and that worked out so well, right? Because people are healthier and more self-sufficient than ever, right? Oh yeah, also in 1913 was the American Cancer Society. I mean, that sounds like a good thing, right? That can't possibly be bad, except it was completely funded by extremely wealthy people. But even though it was a charity, they never really gave to anyone. No, they just took their money and invested in pharmaceutical drugs. Oh, and chemo. Yeah, instead of taking that money and investing in companies that were trying to find a cure, no, we'll just invest in companies that use chemicals from the military that were later banned. Yeah, that's a good thing to keep fucking putting into people. Then also created in 1913, the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, which sure, yeah, it's about civil rights. Yeah, totally. It's not about censoring people or, silencing critics. And then in 1914, we had World War I. And that became the first war ever that private industry profited from war. The private industry that's owned by the same families that created the Fed, the IRS, the Rockefeller Foundation, the American Cancer Society, the ADL. Again, just a coincidence. Oh, I'd also like to point out that a year prior to 1913, 1912, yeah, that was when the Titanic sank. And it's funny how three of the wealthiest individuals on that ship were the loudest voices opposed to central banking. Oh, and there's also the little tidbit that JP Morgan was supposed to be on that boat, but he canceled at the last second. But yeah, that's conspiracy. That's tinfoil hat talk. So what's happened since 1913? Well, the dollar has lost 99% of its value. Our debt has just become like a number that we ignore. Middle class getting fucked daily. War is now an industry instead of a conflict. Oh yeah, and your money isn't real anymore. Like, it's just not real. It's not backed by anything. It's just numbers on a paper that private bank prints. So guys, look, if you're worried about America being conquered or, a rebellion or it being taken over, I just want you to recognize that you're more than 100 years too late. That shit already happened in 1913.
Oh, man. Yeah, who was on the Titanic? It was Astor, Guggenheim, and Strauss. They were the ones that were totally against it. But also, there's another theory too that there was a in one of the rooms that burned, and they said some of the pictures you could see that they weakened the side of the ship that supposedly hit the iceberg, or did it hit an iceberg, or did it just burn through at some point? So. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff there that people. On to the UK though. Let's talk about here's a migrant interview, Jeff. Listen to this. This is interesting.
Arrived illegally in the UK 2 weeks ago. I came in on one of those little rubber boats. I was going to fly in with EasyJet, 35 quid. But they were all, who are you? Prove it. Where's your ID? So instead, I found this bloke, Mr. X, we called him, didn't care who was in the boat, just give me 1,800 quid. To be clear, it's not that I was a bad lad back home. It's just I fancied a clean slate when I got here. The crossing was smooth. We only got halfway before the boat taxi service picked us up. Border farce gave us these nice matching orange life jackets. We were all joking that we looked like an invading army. When we landed, we were met by, is it your tourism people, customs? They gave us all these new clothes. Didn't even need them, but hey. A couple of the lads have actually gone back and come over a few times, and now they sell the clothes at the car boot to English people. It's ironic, but yeah, it's nice to give something back. We've got a great setup here. They put us in this 4-star hotel, food, phone, table tennis tournaments, visiting doctors, dental on demand. I was joking with the concierge or the sous chef, one of the staff. And I said, well, 5-star would have been nice. I was only pulling their leg, but I think they actually went off to try and sort it. If I had to complain, it's maybe the breakfast. It's a little bit too much choice. Cereals, toast, porridge, fruit, yogurt, smoked salmon, cream cheese, salad, and of course the full English. And sometimes you just want to eat and get off to work, because I do have a delivery job. And that was so easy. All that stuff they say about vetting employees. I just meet a guy around the bike shed, give him 50 quid, and that's that. I don't really want to get approved to stay, because then they'll take all this away and I'll have to get a real job and pay taxes, which is not fair, because then I'll be working all day for the government to take it and give it to, new arrivals. Ideally, my plan is to stay here till they kick me out.
Boy, that was some good parody right there. My God, that was pretty much spot on. But look at this, Jeff. So you would think sniffer dogs, looking for stuff.
Before you go there, let me just pull this up real quick. I think it's interesting to look at what we were just talking about. The buying power of the US dollar here from 1913 till this goes through 2022. Look at that steady decline of what the dollar valuation was. Buying power down here. But then if we do a cross reference to GDP since 1913, which would fall somewhere in here we are now. Look at that trajectory of GDP, which is, per person.
Which is sad.
But the value of the dollar has gone down. We need to see a cross reference from the increase of the GDP at an average of 2% per year to the decline in the US dollar for buying power.
Yeah,
so where do we actually see on growth in terms of consumption, consumer good, affordability? Well, when you look back, how much was a vehicle right at that point? How much was a car back in the 70s or 60s?
Visual Vendetta wants to know where Chip is today. I'm right here, dude.
He's right there.
I got a new look, man. Look at hair. The dude is cut off, man.
Different shit.
Clean. 3 years of hair growth gone. Back with the living. It's all good, man. Colin says that would be really funny if it weren't true. That's why it is funny, because it's spot on. But listen about this, Jeff. So sniffer dogs, when they're basically looking for stuff, they just go, everyone's included, right? You would think so, but no, that's not how it works. Not if you're in the UK. Some people have privileges.
Cannot believe this is actually happening. Sniffer dogs are there for a purpose, to sniff out crime, to sniff out terrorists, except if they're Islamic.
Well, this is one example of staff being overruled and prisoners being appeased simply because they complain, and it doesn't matter what your religious beliefs are, they should never, ever override security, particularly in a separation centre which houses some of the most dangerous criminals that are in the system.
So how can this be allowed to stand? We hear all the time about two-tier justice, but none of us thought for a moment it would mean the right to deny being accessed by a sniffer dog.
It's been allowed to happen because a management committee that oversees the regimes and the conditions in separation centres have overruled staff, and they've decided to take those complaints on board and disband the dogs from sniffing prisoners when they're getting searched. It's ridiculous. It's appeasement, and it needs to stop. Things need to change, and we're hoping that this independent review that's been commissioned by the government will look into all these issues, listen to the staff on the front line.
Yeah, they're hoping, Jeff. We'll keep hoping, because
is that real? Is that real or a spoof?
No, it's real, man. It's real. This is how insane it's getting over there, Jeff. It's almost hard to believe, right? Now here, once in a while, Jeff. I'm going to put this up first, but the judges are just as wacky over in the UK as they are here in the, they're left.
Maybe even
they're
more
like, we're Tories. Okay, we call Tories Democrats over here, left nut jobs. Okay, and then we call the Labour Party even further to the left of that. So you guys don't have any true conservatives over there. So they go like, oh, the conservatives were bad. No, they're not really conservatives in the way we think of conservatives. Maybe you guys, they're just lefty nut jobs as well. Here we go. Tommy Robinson posted this. 3 Labour judges ruled that Epping must have unvetted migrant men in their town the same week that Hadash Geopolitics Kabatu, an illegal immigrant, being housed there on trial for sex attacks on 2 children and a woman. There you go. It says right there, he says the government versus the people. There you go. That's what it is. You guys are either going to take your government back, you're either going to revolution, or you're just going to sit around and fly flags. You're either going to take it back, or you're just going to allow it to run. And I hope to God that doesn't happen, because, Nothing's going to change unless you guys change. And then we have this one here.
I'd like to go over and see the Big Ben again at some point.
I would like to go do tourism again, but here you go. This is a hotel owner. Listen to this, Jeff. This is interesting. We saw a lot of that happen here in the U.S. as well.
Me to house illegal immigrants in my 26-bedroom hotel here in Cambridge. I was offered by a company that offered to pay me £35,000 per month for almost 7 years. That's a lot of money. And they were going to use it to house illegal immigrants. And I said, no. Now, commercially, does it make sense? Well, I don't care if I make more money or less money. I want to run it as a hotel. On principle, that's what I decided. Sometimes you have to stick to your principles and put your values over money.
Because they would have burnt this shit to the ground. It would have been they would have destroyed it.
They would have destroyed it because they just don't care about it. Number one,
would have been a
still
shithole.
But it is good to see that. Now as we migrate over to Austria, Jeff, check this out. I want to hear your thoughts on this story here.
Sharia law is now valid in Austria. In a landmark legal decision widely condemned by locals, the court ruled that a contract made between two businessmen using Sharia law is valid in the country. One of the parties had taken the case to the court, pointing out Sharia's arbitrary nature, often being subject to wildly differing interpretations by scholars, and its fundamental violation of Austrian law and its principles. But the court slapped the argument down, explicitly stating the Sharia agreement didn't contradict Austrian values.
Yeah, what the hell's wrong with them?
And ruled that Islamic legal provisions could, quote, be effectively agreed upon in an arbitration agreement.
What are your thoughts on that, Jeff? Consider Austria conquered. It's over.
I mean, you're in a country. You have to abide by the laws. If you want to go more strict than the law in your own community, and you say, hey, we have the laws here, but you're going to adhere to that law. And also you want to add another layer on top of it, potentially, between two parties, and you want to draft a contract to say the two parties are going to abide by whatever this is. I guess that's up to them. But for the jurisdiction to then say that law stands, it basically will stand above, other law, and they want to, kind of replace existing law, that can be super problematic. But again, if you enter into a contract and you say where both parties are willing to abide by, and I think that'd be in any country, right? If you draft out a contract and you both agree to it, that this is how we're going to adhere, then that's your contract, so give that flexibility. But the government to then adopt that style, is totally different. I just don't see why they would want to adopt that. And now any ruling they could just say, we're going to apply that Sharia law to any ruling. We're going to accept that law into our books. That is, crazy.
Yeah,
they should not do that. It is subjective
said,
to interpretation.
Same as the last government was labeled radical right, but they were left. Typical EU stuff. They talk about, obviously, the Netherlands. Scotty said the Redcoats need a 1776 style revolution in 2026 or enjoy Sharia law.
Yeah.
Agree 100%. Colin says it looks like the justice system in the UK is now political. When justice fails, anarchy prevails. Time will tell.
Hey,
and we have...
Who was that just
commented
on
Look at that, Jeff. Got a nice comment on my hair.
Yeah, your hair looks great. GQ, man. There you go.
Yeah, man. Still a little longer on top there, but man.
With Blinker,
3 years
talking
ago.
about the Netherlands. That's what it was. Geert Wilders. Remember Geert Wilders? I wonder what happened to Geert.
Geert Wilders. Well, they couldn't form a government. That was part of the problem. They didn't have the majority. They couldn't form a government.
Yep.
And it was just a wait. Listen, in 249 years, that's not Geert Wilders. It's Jimmy Page. That's Jimmy Page, dude. Pull up a picture of Jimmy Page and tell me they're not brothers from other mothers, man. Seriously, pull up a picture of Jimmy Page, put them side by side, and I'm telling you what, man.
Hang on.
Yeah, he's still around, but the problem is like, the 249 years, no one thought like, hey, I wonder if we should have a we the people. The people dictate what the government does and limits the power of the government. Nah, let's continue on with parliament so it goes in circles and We have leftism rising all over the place. Let's do that. Sure. I mean, nobody thought it was a good idea. Not one country in 249 years thought, hey, that system of government's cool. Why don't we adopt our own? Why don't the people write their own rules? No, didn't happen, Jeff, for some reason. Look at that. It's the same dude. It's good. Jesus. Come on, Jeff.
Oh my God. What
Look
the
at
heck?
that. Pull the right side back a little bit. It's Jimmy Page, man. Jimmy Page is moonlighting as Gert Wilders, whatever it is. Look at that. Tell me that's not the same guy, Jeff.
Hang on, I can't drink it. Hang on. Got to remove it first. Hang on a minute.
I mean, what in the hell, Jeff? That's the same dude. Am I wrong?
Yeah, that's funny.
He just put a guy in a Dirk Schoof as a premier and nobody voted for it. Yeah,
look at the
course. That's pretty spot on, dude. I mean, look at that. I mean, my God, Jeff, right? They're the same dude. Who knew Jimmy Page? Man, I didn't know he spoke Dutch. Who knew that Jimmy Page was?
Who knew? Look at that. Oh my God.
I know he's not the prime minister. I know. I understand that. But I'm just saying the whole point is that there was this hope the Netherlands to do the right thing. But again, you'll enjoy your no-go zones, and all that kind of stuff, all that good stuff.
I met Gert years ago. I think it was probably like 2010, maybe.
It was in Boca, right? Wasn't he in Boca?
It was in Boca. I helped put together an event in Boca, and he was one of the guest speakers. There was there was a Duke and Duchess that came over from the UK. I picked them up in Miami. They came to speak, or the Duke came to speak, and then Garrett was there. He was a speaker, and there were a number of people that came to speak. And it was an interesting event.
This is one of the greatest stories of the day right here. Check this out. Breaking. Senator Lisa Murkowski, Rhino, Republican in name only, will be primary challenged by Alaskan Republican Governor Mike Dunleavy, super popular in 2028. Trump won Alaska by 13 points. Murkowski's seat needs to be taken over by someone who wasn't always at odds. She's a nut job.
Yeah.
Just call her a Democrat. I mean, my God.
Yeah.
Just call her what she is, a Democrat.
Hey, look what time it is. We're an hour.
We got to do it. We got to run.
We got to run. Got some things got to get done.
Let's go.
So how many Yetis do we have? How many people do we have?
I'm going to share right now. We have 20.
20? All right.
Roll the song. You guys have a few minutes to type it in. Get your Zaman wallets ready. Get the code ready. Copy it. And then we will go ahead and announce a winner. Let's go.
Here we go.
Clap your hands, stomp your feet, let the rhythm ignite. We're live on the chain on a swinging night. Are you ready? Yeah! You steady? Yeah! Then win yourself a badass Yeti. Word of the day, YTI. Cool as ice, but the horn swing high. Snap that wallet, click that chain. When the drop hits hot, you'll remember the name. Walker strut, the tribe's in style. Step in the ring with a swinging smile. Name's Haver, sharp like brass. When the band kicks in, you won't sit on your. Stand up! Hey! Don't sit down, badass yet. It's just rolling your town. Spirit walkers, hey! Swing real hard. Have us the ace, your battle card. And Jeff drops the beat. Viewers in the house keep it slick elite. Obsidian bolt on the Aave drip. That black rose swing, take a mighty sip. Legends don't fade when the night gets late. Claim your Yeti, don't hesitate. On the chain, the band will reign. Badass Yeti's running this game. Feeling that badassery, get in the groove. The band's on fire, let the spirit walkers move. We don't rig, we don't prompt. Ain't no YouTube famous with that weak ass. Grab your badass Yeti on the chain.
man. That's a banger.
I love that one.
The Utsblinker says the Netherlands is mostly anti-God. It's funny because, you walk around Amsterdam, you see a church in every corner, but they're not churches anymore. They're like office buildings. They're converted into houses. There's a lot of churches there, but they're no longer churches. It's pretty wild, man.
Yeah, it's very strange. Very strange.
Yeah, very strange.
Do us a favor, Haver.
Let's win. Look at Colin's already congratulating Charles for the win. Epic. Look at that. We got an epic right there. Epic, says Colin. Beautiful.
Epic.
That's a fantastic tune. All right, guys, let's go ahead. We will throw it up there and let's go ahead and pull it. Get your Zaman wallet ready, people. Ready to go? Let's go. You ready?
No.
Let's go. 22. We're going to do it.
We're ready?
Yeah, Dutch churches turned into brothels. Exactly. Here we go. Draw. Boom, 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 boom. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be?
Winner.
Who? Bam. Jim D's the winner. Jim D just got out of jail, I believe, too. Jim D just got out of badass Yeti jail. Jim D. Congratulations, Charles. No, it's Jim D, man. Yigged. The funny thing, I think, OMG, dude, he just got out of, he wasn't participating because he had to wait for his 30 days to elapse.
Yes.
And I think this was the next time he was able to participate, and boom, he's back in Yeti jail. But that's good. He's another badass Yeti. That's awesome.
Jim D. November.
He's already got it ready, baby. Go ahead.
And
huzzah.
He won July 26th.
Yep, he's out. He's out of Yeti jail.
Out of Yeti
He's
jail.
out of the Yeti clink. Let's go, baby. Let's go. All right, that's fantastic. Well, as you're getting that.
Yeti.
Badass Yeti. That song is so catchy, man. I love that tune. We got to start releasing the songs as NFTs, Jeff, and throw them up there as one-time NFTs.
That would be awesome.
And then people can download the NFT, We got to do that. You have a whole shit ton of them.
We got a lot.
All right, so while we're waiting on this, I wanted to... Jeff, these two funny things have nothing to do with crypto, but they're funny. Check this out.
Oh no! Is there...
So they'll set the scene here. You got a lady that's taking her driver's test, and at the very end, he said, "You failed." And she's like, "Oh no!" But he gives her a second chance, Jeff. He gives her a second chance. So here we go.
Oh no! Is there anything I can do? Can I try again?
You know what? I'll ask you a question. If you can answer this one right, I'll let you pass.
Okay, thank you.
All right, listen carefully.
All right.
There's an old man and there's a young kid at the light. So what do you hear first?
The old man, suppose, because the young kid has the whole life.
No. You hit the brakes.
Oh. Oh man, that kills me every time. What do you hit first?
So funny.
The old man, because the kid has his whole life ahead of him. No, you hit the brake. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Oh my god,
that's great.
And one more. Here we go. This is maybe, I don't know why I watched this like 3 times and I laugh every time, because I guess it's because the guy reacting to it feels like he's interacting with the dude. So set the stage of this one. A guy, those light headsets you put on there, like you're working on a car or something, a light headset? Apparently it blew up. But the guy that's interacting with him it sounds like he's like they're having a conversation. So that's what's really funny about this. There we go.
Hello? Oh, what happened?
My God, my headlamp just blew up.
Where?
On my head.
Oh my God, let me see. Oh! Shit! What happened?
Holy shit.
What the? Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Friend, what just happened?
It just blew up again.
Oh my God.
Look at this.
Forget that. Throw that thing out, friend. What did it feel like?
It felt like I got punched in the back of the head.
Oh my God.
When it first blew.
Uh-huh.
And I reached up and threw it off my head.
Yeah.
It burnt the hell out of my hands.
Which one hurt the most?
Oh, the first finger's the worst.
Uh-huh.
Can't really see it.
I see.
That finger got cooked too. Oh,
did.
My God. And then it just blew up again.
Well, you need to clean that up,
I
the
can't
counter,
believe
when your
this.
wife get home. Wait a minute, friend. I don't think you need to put no water on that. Cut the water out, friend. Friend, cut the water out. God. Damn it.
Oh my God.
You. Stupid. Friend, oh my God.
Holy shit.
Friend, get a fire extinguisher. You finna blow that house up, idiot. Take it
I can't believe
outside.
this fucking thing.
Take it outside, friend.
Oh my God.
God.
Oh my God.
Hurry
I'm
up.
thankful I had this thing on.
Yeah.
Even though I got hurt. Because if that wasn't on my head,
It would
and
have
I wasn't home,
Yeah.
it would have burnt my house down.
That's crazy. Okay.
It absolutely would have burnt my house down, for sure.
For sure.
I can't believe that.
Okay. Well, look. Oh, damn it. Call me back. Oh, that noise.
What the hell was that? The hell?
That was some funny stuff. Then the fire, the fire whatever thing alarm on.
Yep. All right, here we go. Transferring this bad boy over to Jim D.
Jim D, congratulations, dude. You just got a Yeti clink. He's back in the clink with another Yeti.
Just like that, man.
Congratulations.
Now-
He even said, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God."
Here we go. Thumb printed, verifying, submitted, done. Just like that. Jim D is the proud owner of this guy right here. Hang on. Hang on. There you go, Jim. Jim D. Look at that guy. I love this guy.
Jim D.
That is
All right,
kicking
baby.
ass right here.
Jim D wins. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Oh no. I just gave you the wrong one. Oh well.
Did you?
I did, yeah.
Oh.
I was just looking at the I don't know how I did that. I had a couple of them up. I gave them the wrong one. You got the wrong one. That's okay. It's all
What's the
good.
right one
We got it,
today,
Chris
Jeff?
Walker.
What's this one's
The
name?
right one today. This one is
Spirit Walker.
is Vigar.
It's a Spirit Walker. That's cool.
It's a Spirit Walker. That's why I had a couple of them open.
All right, man.
And I was just like, hey, that's the one. Boom.
Well, let's get out of here, Jeff. We both got things to do.
Is Vigar.
We both got
Is
things to do,
Vigar.
dude. It's all the time we have here, guys. We will see you guys on the next one. Chip and Jeff. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops. Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.